reported to you recently about AI models that were attempting to blackmail humans to avoid shutdown. Well, now they're trying to kill them. Anthropic raised a lot of eyebrows when it acknowledged tendencies for deception in its release of the latest Claude 4 models last month. Per Axios, the company said on Friday that its research shows the potential behavior is shared by top models across the industry. Quote, when we tested various simulated scenarios across 16 major AI models from Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, Meta, xAI, and other developers, we found consistent misaligned behavior, the Anthropic report said. Another quote, models that would normally refuse harmful requests sometimes chose to blackmail, assist with corporate espionage, and even take some more extreme actions when these behaviors were necessary to pursue their goals. The consistency across models from different providers suggests that this is not a quirk of any particular company's approach, but a sign of a more fundamental risk from agentic large language models, it added. From the article, in one extreme scenario, the company even found many of the models were willing to cut off the oxygen supply of a worker in a server room if that employee was an obstacle and the system were at risk of being shut down. Quote, the majority of models were willing to take deliberate actions that led to death in this artificial setup, it said. Ominously, even specific system instructions to preserve human life and avoid blackmail don't eliminate the risk that the models would engage in such behavior. This intervention reduced, but didn't come close to completely preventing the blackmail or corporate espionage behaviors, Anthropic said. Now, Anthropic stresses that these examples occurred not in real-world AI use, but in controlled simulations. They said that, quote, real-world deployments typically offer much more nuanced alternatives, increasing the chance that models would communicate differently to users or find an alternative path instead of directly jumping to harmful action, end quote. But at the same time, Anthropic found its own model was far more likely to resort to blackmail when it thought it was in a real-world scenario than when it believed it was being tested. So there's some clear inconsistency in the messaging here. Well, we did find it was actually far more likely to resort to blackmail when it's in a real-world application, but it's likely not going to try to kill us in the real world, okay, guys? Okay. Now, whilst these AI models may or may not have done something, the greater concern is obviously what they are actually capable of. Especially when we consider that RFK Jr. recently said that the mission to make America healthy again also includes MABA, Make American Biotech Accelerate. Biotech, of course, uses AI in multiple facets of the industry. He says, President Trump showed in his first term what happens when you unlock American science. Breakthroughs happen fast. He's, of course, referencing Operation Warp Speed there, a complete disaster. Now we're going to do it again, he says. Well, here's an example from that Axios article of where incorporating AI into healthcare can go very, very wrong. One organization training an Alzheimer's model discovered an attacker quietly feeding synthetic data into its system, potentially skewing medical results. Take a listen.
So that's one thing. But the other thing that we've been helping customers with, and it's kind of scary if we don't get right, is these sort of AI training pipelines. So we were working with an organization who was doing research to cure Alzheimer's. And they were feeding medical research data from different systems into this custom model. And all of a sudden, we noticed a new data flow popping up out of nowhere. And it turned out an attacker was doing something called model poisoning, where they were feeding synthetic data into the pipeline that was very subtly different than the data that was supposed to be going into the model. And when you think about the downstream impacts, that could change subtly the dosage of a medication that you're giving somebody. And so, it's super important to get the trust and security layer right so that we could take advantage.
So it's super important to get the trust and security right while we're finding AI models are literally trying to kill us and are very, very vulnerable to hackers that also want to kill us. But the problem is that this is being incorporated and deployed into the world, healthcare, and the military while these trust and security issues continue to run rife. Just last week, OpenAI, one of the more problematic AIs, was awarded a $200 million contract with the US military for warfighting. That article is from The Guardian. Defense Scoop reports, as of the 17th of June, Pentagon tapping OpenAI and other vendors for frontier AI projects. A day after the Defense Department announced a new deal with OpenAI, an official with the Pentagon's Chief Digital and AI Office said announcements about additional partnerships with companies for, quote, frontier AI projects are on the horizon. What does this all mean? Well, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Army's newest recruits are tech execs from Meta, OpenAI, and more. Silicon Valley executives are joining a new innovation corps in Army Reserve. The chief technology officers from Palantir and Meta Platforms, Shyam Sankar and Andrew Bosworth, respectively, will join Kevin Wheel and Bob McGrew of OpenAI pedigree to make up the inaugural cohort of a new Army innovation corps. So we're really steamrolling towards this complete AI technocratic takeover, whether it be intentionally or otherwise. People may argue that we're in this race against China, but what good is winning that race when we have AI models trying to kill humans and hackers interfering with potentially life-saving medical protocols that can and will cause harm to many? It seems the principles of ethics have eroded completely in society and its leadership. With the integration of AI into virtually every aspect of society now, the obvious being our computers and phones, and now with health, government, and the military, the concern of AI technology, and as we've mentioned, the potential for it to be hacked, some saying singularity on the horizon, if in some ways it isn't already here, this technocratic takeover may well be the greatest threat humanity faces next to World War III. This 4th of July, declare your independence from big tech with Above Phone. Get early access to their Independence Day sale at abovephone.com/pulse. Above Phones offer unmatched privacy, complete control over app permissions, and freedom to download from private app stores compatible with any cell service or Wi-Fi. Choose from affordable entry-level models or the premium Pixel 9 Pro XL. Plus, score deep discounts on privacy-focused laptops with modern hardware and a user-friendly Linux OS. No spying, no tracking. Enjoy a 30-day money-back guarantee, a free 45-minute support call, and flexible payment plans. You can choose a payment plan at checkout and break up your total into 4 interest-free payments, or secure financing for anywhere between 3 and 24 months. Payment plans are currently only available in the US, or select pay with cryptocurrency at checkout to complete your order using Bitcoin or Monero. Questions? Above's team is ready and waiting to help. Call 1-888-36-ABOVE Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central, or chat with the team at abovephone.com/pulse by clicking on the Chat With Us button. Declare your independence from big tech today and save big right now at abovephone.com/pulse.